What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time seeing the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. But today, exciting news. Pretty excited for this. I have the Dominator exhaust, and truthfully I have not really seen any videos on it, like in-depth review on it showing dimensions, not really necessarily dimensions, but where it sits relative to the boxes. So, as you guys know, I have the hard panniers from Tusk, so I do have the exhaust installed. Didn't do a video on it because it's pretty straightforward on the exhaust. Was kind of a pain, not terrible, but I'm gonna show you guys the exhaust. I'll show you guys some of the other mods that I have done. So I'm gonna remove my pannier real quick because I want you guys to be able to see the exhaust behind the pannier boxes. Sometimes these panniers are a pain to remove, but let's take a look at this and I'll show you guys what I'm working with. Alright, so don't mind the mess in the background, but this is a Dominator exhaust. I was gonna go with black, but it was like $100 more, and personally I'm gonna be hiding it anyways, so it's not that big a deal. But as you can see, it goes up pretty well, or tucks up pretty well. Screws into here. It's a nice exhaust, I will say that. It sounds good. Only concern I have, I did install the tail tidy, which you guys have not seen it yet, but the tail tidy is on there. Only concern is, look how close that is to the exhaust. I have seen, like you can see, but I have seen people talk about that, and they say that theirs is like that. Like one dude said that his is, let me flip myself around here. Sorry for the poor camera work, but I did see another dude where he said that his is like that too, but he lives in Florida, and that his is fine in the Florida heat. Sorry if I was shaking a little bit. So I originally put the regular tail back on there because it sits like a little bit higher, and I was like, you know what, I paid money for this tail tidy. This dude says his is fine, so I'm gonna go with it and hope that mine is fine as well. So hopefully, I'm gonna install these panniers real quick. That's what I'm doing. But hopefully that it is fine. And I mean, worst case, if it burns out my blinker, I think they're like 20 bucks on eBay. So not that big of a deal. Definitely hope it does not burn it out. But actually, with it on, let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so went from having that big exhaust on the bottom, which I think is ugly personally. So as you can see, clear on the bottom. Only thing kind of concerns me a little bit, which is like it doesn't have any protection down there, like down here. So that does kind of concern me a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. But I'll show you guys. It tucks up really nicely behind here. Sounds really good. Other mods I've done you guys have not seen. I have the cup holder from Kimimoto. Works pretty good. Excited to have that. My last trip I needed somewhere to put my freaking Mountain Dew bottle in. I couldn't. I did install the Rocks risers. I don't know if you guys can see down there. I think these are the 1 and 1.5, or 1.5 and then 1 inch back or something like that. If you guys want them or are curious about them, leave a comment in the description or in the comment section, and I'll link it to you guys. Also added some Chinese, what is this thing called? Windshield riser. You can see that it is lifted up a little bit. I have it tightened in the bottom form, so I can't lift it right now. It honestly sits pretty good where it's at. I think it might be all that. Oh, finally, as you can see, finally added the I finally added the wind deflector, so that's cool. Sorry, it's turning. So That's one I got off AliExpress, cheap. Oh yeah. Added the the radiator cover. It didn't fit the best. I'm not gonna lie to you. The holes didn't line up that well, so I did take a drill and drill out some of the piece on the other side where the bolt mounts up to it. I drilled out so it would actually line up correctly. Not that big a deal. It was like 17 bucks. Did add an extension on these, so I gave myself a little, like probably that much longer. It helps actually surprisingly quite a bit. The Rox risers, I have rode with them so far. Much more comfortable. The reason I went with the Rox risers, or the reason I went with risers in general, was because I noticed my shoulder was hurting on the last trip. Like it was getting kind of tired, I guess. And then obviously the tail tidy, Amazon special, 44 bucks. Works the same as 3D Cycle parts. I know I should focus on buying American, but what can I do? And then I added these little stickers here though. They'll glow up white or bright at night. Just to add some contrast, or not contrast, add some visibility to the road. So I'll start this up for you. I don't know how well it's going to sound in my garage. I do have the door open, but let's hear it. But stay tuned for the next part of this video. Alright guys, it is another day because I messed up some settings. Well, not really settings, but there's like a zoom button on my camera, and if I zoom in, it ruins the look of the video. So let's go for a ride with this new exhaust. I'll kind of try to be quiet. I got my visor down so you guys can hear it out, not in my garage. It's definitely louder. So I like it being a little bit louder. So found this new little route I like to ride with, or like to do. I do like a little loop and then get on the highway a little bit and ride on the highway. So, but yeah, I guess I'll close my visor so you guys can hear me a little bit better. But the exhaust sounds really good. It's not overly loud, 'cause I'm not a fan of overly loud exhaust. I don't like the sound. I don't like being really loud on the road, but I like enough. I like it to sound good. And personally, I wanted something that tucked up behind my panniers, which I do not have my panniers on right now, simply just because I don't have a need for them to be on. And that's what I like about the boxes, is I can have them off. I don't have to have them on, but I'll let you guys hear it. I'll raise my visor so you guys hear it a little bit. Sorry if it's windy. Yeah, I think the exhaust sounds really good, and especially for the money. Like a lot of exhaust out there were like $500 plus, $700. This one I paid shipped $340, and I paid like $10 extra to use my PayPal. So I don't know why they charge for PayPal. It's kind of weird, but whatever I gotta do, I guess. But yeah, let's do this little loop, talk about it, talk about some of the mods, and let you know if it's changed anything. As you guys can see, I do have the stock mirrors back on. I do like the stock mirrors. I don't like the look of them as much as I do
as much as I do the knockoff double take mirrors. Maybe I'll buy the new double take mirror, buy the new gen double take mirrors, but the other ones were so vibraty that, like, I say vibraty, I don't know if that's even a word, but so there'd be cars behind me, like you can see right now, there's nobody behind me, but like you couldn't make out any features of the car, which don't think it's that big of a deal, but I like to be able to do that. And I don't know, it bothered me, and so I switched back to these. They're a little bit longer, so they do stick out a little bit more, so I can see a little bit better. I think I will eventually upgrade to the new double take mirrors, or the new gen of them, and run those, but for now I'm just gonna run these stock mirrors and see how it goes. Obviously I know how it goes, I've ran them before, but I'm just gonna run the stock mirrors for now, and then eventually buy the double take mirrors. I am gonna add the heated grips here in maybe a month or so, maybe towards the end of this month, not sure yet. I gotta stop spending so much money. But heated grips, I've basically got almost every add-on you can get for this bike. As far as these wind deflectors, they do pretty good. I feel like they do better than, it's better than not having them. I mean, why not? Especially, these are the AliExpress version of them, so they're like a knockoff version, I guess. And they honestly, they do work pretty well. I think I paid 15 or 17 bucks, maybe 14 bucks. I don't really remember necessarily off the top of my head, but they work good. Windshield, I said what I call it, in windshield riser, I think is what I called it in the video of the exhaust. It's actually a windshield adjuster. Apologize for my brain power not working that day, but I found that it's not super easy to adjust. So like where it's at right now, the wind just barely touches the top of my head, and it doesn't really buff it like the stock one did, because it adds like an inch or so. So that inch made it perfect for me. So that's how I like to run it. I just run the stock one, and I run it how it is, comes just at the bottom of the adjustment, basically stock, I guess is what you can call it. Trying to think on other mods. Update on the helmet. I am still loving the helmet. I think I've noticed a little bit of a rattle in like the visor drop down, but I could be going crazy. Let's go ahead and switch lanes here. Let you guys listen to the exhaust for a minute. It does get a little bit loud, like it's not loud, it's not horribly loud, but like it gets a little bit noisier. It's definitely noisier than the stock one, but it's not like overly noisy. And then it settles down once you're like in your certain speed, and like you're not throttle. Like right now, if I throttle it, I don't know if you guys can hear it or how good it's going to come out in the video, because it's kind of windy. I apologize for the wind, but here in Oklahoma City, it's always windy. That's one thing I don't like about Oklahoma City. I like Oklahoma City. I like living here. It's definitely a big change. I lived in a small town my whole life, and I moved to Oklahoma City. It's definitely a change. So it is cool though. I like living up here. Definitely feels a lot different up here though, and I like it though. But the exhaust isn't too loud. It looks really good. 340 bucks, you can't beat it. Definitely worth it in my opinion so far. I think the tucked behind the panniers, it looks great, but it's pretty practical. Plus it saves about 8 pounds. So saving 8 pounds, that don't seem like a whole lot, but it's enough to where it's a weight saving. And then like also if you're doing water crossing or something, like you do a BDR and you got to cross some water, I don't think it's good for the water to get in the exhaust. I'm not a mechanic, so, but I'm thinking that's not good. And it being raised like this, it can't be any worse. So, but cruise control still doing great. Everything's still going good. I'm still doing great on the bike. The cup holder, I haven't used it very much, but the extension, like extension before, it was kind of hard to get my feet on it, but like now with the extension, like you can see, it's like whenever I'm riding on the highway, I just stretch out like this, have a bag on my duffel like when I take my trips, and then, but it's all basically, I want to get it completely modded out. I love the bike, and this is my exit right here. But I love the bike, and I've had tons of fun riding it, and I just want to get it completely done. Next year I plan on taking a big trip on it, like a multiple 1,000-mile trip. I plan on going to West Virginia next year, so it's definitely going to be a long trip, but it's also going to be a bonding experience with my bike. See if you can hear it. Whenever I downshift, it kind of pops a little bit. Get in front of the semi. It kind of pops a little bit when you downshift. I don't know if you guys can, or how well it's going to come through on the mic, but let's go ahead and brake here. Oh, it's green. But I don't know if you guys can hear like how well the mic comes through, like on the exhaust. But I'll rev it up a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it sounds good. It's not overly loud. Doesn't sound, I mean, I'm saying it's the best sounding exhaust, but for the money, I mean, I can't beat it. So, but no, I got some trips planned. Like next year I plan on taking the West Virginia trip, so I want to get everything dialed in. I want the bike completely done. By then I'll have my new tires on. I'm gonna add the Trailmax Missions next. I'm gonna run these tires till I can't run them, because the tires aren't cheap, and my wife already gets mad on how much money I spend. So definitely I can't just be buying stuff. I'm probably going way too fast for this road, but yeah, definitely adding the heated grips. I'm trying to think of what else I'm going to add. Really, there's not much more to add. The seat, oh yeah, the comfort seat, still doing pretty good. I think about after, it's usually about 400 miles is when I'm starting to, like, my butt's starting to really hurt. So that's about my breaking points, 400 miles. Well, not my breaking point, but that's when I'm starting to get really tired and exhaustible. I could push it, like on the West Virginia trip. I'm gonna have to push it because I'm planning on leaving on the Thursday. I got to be down there on a Saturday, so Thursday and Friday. I want to get there Friday evening, so I think it's 1,040 miles ish from my house to West Virginia, to the part of West Virginia I'm going, which is the ride of a lifetime. My buddy, YouTuber, it's his meetup, so definitely got to make it down for that. So Thursday I'll probably do 500 miles Thursday, 500 miles Friday, camp out Thursday night, take my Haven hammock. But I'm definitely thankful. I've basically got the bike dialed in, adding the double take mirrors eventually, adding the heated grips, and excuse me, much more than that. I don't really have any other plans other than that. I might eventually just add the 12-volt plug just because it's cheap, it's an easy mod. But super grateful for how the bike's turned out. The boxes have turned out pretty good. I have like a slight wobble in it, not like I don't know, it could be my OCD, but it's got a little more play than the other one does. It's kind of weird, but you don't notice it at all. Like, it doesn't rattle or anything. So on the Tusk box, I'm liking them still. They're still a good box. They lock. My top box, $180 Amazon one, working phenomenal. Definitely a great purchase. Also, failed to mention, but in the exhaust video you guys are going to see a tail tidy on. I ended up taking the tail tidy off because I noticed when I got back from my ride on the video that I messed up because I hit the zoom button on accident. But I noticed when I came back from my ride that, I guess because the exhaust kind of rattles a little bit, or like moves a little bit, because it's got the engine airflow blowing through it, so it's moving around. How close the tail the blinker it's sitting basically on the exhaust. So I noticed like a little white scuff. I'll see if it's still on the exhaust when I get back to the house, which I'm pretty close now. So it's like blinking, or it's not blinking. It's leaving a white mark on it from the bottom of the blinker. So I ended up just moving back to the regular one. I don't want to risk it. I really don't want to scuff up my blinkers and stuff like that. So I put back the other one on. The other one, the tail tidy one, looks better, which it is an Amazon one, so the 3D circle parts could be a little bit different. But I noticed when I install the screws and stuff on the cheap one, I'll do the loop so I can continue talking. But on the cheap one, I've noticed that once I screw in that bottom plate, like if you guys watch the 3D cycle parts one, it kind of lowers the blinkers a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the pressure on the screw or whatever, but it lowers it enough to where when the bike's on, the exhaust is like rattling a little bit, or vibrating, I guess is what it could be, and it's touching the exhaust, and it caused those marks. So basically I would rather not risk it. Plus at least the original, not neutral, come on Isaac, but the original stock tail bracket thing, at least it'll block some mud. I mean, I've experienced it myself. When I did the trip to Medicine Park, we went down a muddy road, and it blocked a lot of the mud that my tires shot up from being on that muddy road. So it definitely works. It's definitely does what it's designed to do. Does it look as good? Does it look as good as the tail tidy one? No, unfortunately. But I'm not gonna risk just burning out my blinkers just because I know with it touching like that, it's gonna burn the blinker out. It's just a matter of time. So I'd rather not risk it. But that being said, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would, hit subscribe, like, comment, share. Anything helps the channel. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, ride safe out there. Peace.